There you go. We just had our warning. Now, welcome to session 3. This is Breakout Room session 3, where we're going to talk about making instructional videos using our handy dandy iPhone or phone and an iPad. And so I'm going to share my screen now to go ahead and share with you this website. Now, this website is one that we threw together relatively quickly, like a week and a half ago. And this is a Google Sites website. It is different from the one that was in the PowerPoint with mine. Mine is the, I don't know what they would call that. I don't want to call it antique because that makes it sound bad. But that is how the Google Sites used to work. And I had set that up years ago when I got for my master's. But now they've simplified it, and this is like the new Google Sites, right? They're much more intuitive, easier to add things with. And so just to take you through this, and again, anytime if you have a question, please, you can just unmute yourself and ask. That would be great. Let me see if I can, no, I cannot do that. Okay, and so here on the side, we have using EduCreations, using Zoom meetings, and then using iPhone and iPads. So again, after this, if you like to go and look at the other resources, you can just go to the website, which will be shared through the bit.ly, and click on the others. Hold on, I will go ahead and actually monitor chat too. Oh, it's called Rustic, yes, thank you. And so what I'm going to do, actually, let me go ahead and close this out for a bit. This here is, once again, I mentioned that there is simply just not, it's not easy to always find the just right video, especially if I want kids to fold paper or to cut paper, which is an example of what I did with my third graders. And we all know, those of you who are elementary teachers, we know that just to get them to fold the paper in half and crease it could be 10 minutes long, right? and then there's a redo. So it was really helpful for me to go ahead and put it on video so that I can pause, they can pause it when they need to and restart it up again. And so here's an example of a video that you did not see initially. This was the part 1 where it taught them how to fold paper. And they actually had to go through and create this little template that they had to then trace and then make little markings and so forth. Hold on, there is a question. Oh, middle school students also. No, it's true. It's true. And this is third grade, and I still do similar lessons. And this is a project that truly kids love doing because at the end, they're coloring, they're drawing, they're cutting, they're folding. And this really made it quite interactive. I had emails from parents, and there was someone here who said they have like 900 students, right? Tracy, was that you? Tracy is a librarian. She has 900 students. I don't have as many. I have maybe 240 students. And so I get quite a bit of emails, you can imagine. But this was one where they said, thank you so much for making it so interactive. And so having them do things rather than just, you know, watching a lesson sometimes and solving problems was a lot of fun for them. And so again, in class, this would have taken 3 days. Through these instructional videos, it again was 3 days because that's how long it takes. And so this was on folding paper. Please let me know. I don't know if you want to see it. I'd rather spend more time kind of getting to the, you know, the bones of it all. But if you'd like me to stop and show a little bit of it, please just, you can unmute yourself and ask me to, right? And this was taken with an iPhone, I believe. And I did edit it in iMovie afterwards because there were some places where I had to just cut it. This one was recorded with an iPad, and I just went straight through. This one with an iPhone. And again, this one I did actually drop it into, I think this was into an iMovie. Wait, invisible. It was recorded on an iPhone. And again, this is one of those things I simply couldn't find the perfect video for it. Most of it was way too complicated over their heads. I just needed them to be able to see what cannot be seen with their eye regularly, which is a magnetic field of a magnet. Now, on this website, we've got some helpful hacks. I happen to be, I have like 2 or 3 different, what is that called? I can't think of it, tripods to hold things with. And this is before I realized it can be a lot easier. So here are just some simple hacks on how you can set up your phone or your iPad to make recordings underneath, right? So you can just write in your notebook or write in your workbook and just record it as you go using your devices. Is it important about how much memory you have on your iPad? Yes, because it's going to get recorded as a picture, but once you download it into your Google Drive, I was just answering a question on the chat. Once you download it into your drive, you can delete it off your device. I know memory is kind of an issue with iPads. Thank you. It is a locker shelf. You're right. Someone said in the chat. This is a quick instructional video on if you want to make a Google site. The new Google sites, which by the way, this website that you're seeing right here is the new Google site. Mine is the old Google site. And it is quite intuitive as far as dropping things in. I did drop some of my video clips into iMovie. I don't do it too often, but if I have the need, then I use iMovie. And on this website here is a quick how-to for iMovie editing as well. Okay, so at this point, our hope was that if you like to have some help setting up a Google site now or downloading videos or how to create, we just kind of wanted to open up this time for you to, like, if you have a device, a separate device even, to just play around with that now. So is there anyone who had a question?
How do you get your video from your phone to your computer? Do you hook it up? Because when I try email, it usually says it's too long and doesn't mail things.
Okay. What kind of computer do you have? Is it a Mac?
No, it's a IntelliCore. It's an HP.
Okay. What I found is when I do recordings on my phone or whatever device, it has the option of dropping it into Drive right there, usually. So like once you record it and then you press share, it should give you the option of like how you want to share it. And so I just drop it directly into my Google Drive and then I pull it up in my Google Sites.
Okay.
How long does it take? Because I noticed that it might take hours. At least it has happened when I try to download some videos into my drive.
Oh, I see. You mean where it starts to process?
Yeah. And it says really hours. I would have to, like 5-minute video, I have to leave processing. Is that normal?
Oh, I just stopped sharing for a bit. Sometimes I have found that it does that. Like if my Wi-Fi is incredibly slow, then I just usually stop and I go back to it later. But yeah, sometimes it does take a while for it to completely upload, depending on the length of your video.
Okay.
So I like to be able to read stories to the students that show the page, but kind of split screen that they can see me, but at the same time see the page. How do I do that?
Oh, so you want to be able to read a story, but then they can see you kind of in there as well?
Yeah. But if you could do a video first and then put it onto the school website or something on YouTube or whatever, I'm not really sure which way to do is the best way. I could put in the Google Drive and do something to it, or our district also give us a YouTube, we have access to YouTube account. We can do that too. But I'm not really sure how to do that, and from there to transfer over to the website, to the school website.
Oh, into your school website.
Yeah, so there are options we can do over to the school website, or we can send it to the teacher a link so then they can put on their Google Classroom. So then
Right.
when they have lessons with the kids, they can have them listen to.
Right, right. Let's go back to your original question of what you want to do. If you want to have like a little picture of you showing in the corner, then you probably want to record using Zoom, or I've used Screencastify as well. But Zoom is a pretty simple one, you know, because I think we're Zooming all the time nowadays. You just have to record it, and then you have yourself as a little image up in the corner if you want to do that. Although I believe you'd have to have it set up so that, do you have the book digitally in your computer?
No.
In which case, I've heard of these hacks where people have connected like their document camera to their computer and where it shows it at the time. Or if you want to just simply like hold it up to the camera
Hold it up.
on the page. Yeah. But then I think
But they can't read it though, right? You know, let's say for young kids, that you want to see the picture, but also the words.
Mhm.
You know.
What I've done at times is I've went ahead and I've taken a screenshot of the page and put it into a Google slide. And this is kind of actually what Sachiko, she did with her presentation, is that she put her lessons and what you saw on her slides in Google Slides. And if you have the book on a slide or the page, you can read through it and then click to the next slide and read again. And if you want your picture in the little corner, then you would probably want to record it using Zoom or something. I'm thinking for you, maybe the Zoom session would be more valuable.
So the Zoom, like I just not invite anyone. I just do it myself.
Exactly. You just record yourself.
And then hold a book.
Yes. Or you can take pictures of the book and put that up maybe on a Google slideshow so that you can just turn the page as you read, or, go to the next slide as you read. Do you want to go to Sachiko's session on recording with Zoom? Well, here, let me show you this.
Okay.
So on the website, since we're here, if you go to the Zoom recording one, there is instructions on how to record using Zoom. So that's there for you, right? And she actually puts her lessons in Google Slide and just toggles through, which is, and there's instructionals here as well. And ultimately, she does end up putting it into Google Sites as well, or her website as well, just like I do.
Okay.
But
well, I'll stay with you, and then I can go because I assume she's recording her session, right?
mm-hmm.
And I'll go check out that one.
So your school has a website. What is your role? Are you a teacher? It sounds like you work.
I'm an administrator.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else who'd like to see how to set up a website?
I would.
Okay, I'll take you through it.
I would.
Let's do this. So here is, I can show this quick video here, and then we can, it's pretty fast. And after I show this, we can actually just play around with building a site while we're here together, okay? Where's the sound?
Use sites.google.com/new, or use the waffle in your Google Drive to choose Sites, and then New Google Sites.
Okay, so she started talking a little early. Let me go back.
To access the new version of Google Sites, go to sites.google.com/new.
Okay, I can pause there. So if you have a second device and you want to just try this along while you're there, that would be, we can do that.
Or use the waffle in your Google Drive to choose Sites, and then New Google Sites. Any sites that you have already created will be displayed here, and they are located in your Google Drive account also. Give your site a name so you can find it easily in your drive by clicking where it says Untitled and changing that to something more specific. If you were to peek quickly in your Google Drive, you would see your site already available in Recent. And accessing your site from your drive is a quick and easy way to locate it when you are ready to make some changes.
Okay, any questions so far? This is, if you're used to working with like Google Classroom, especially like on an iPad, it's a very similar thing, you know, the same add button, the same features. So I'll keep playing.
The first thing you will want to do is to select a theme for your site by visiting the Themes tab. Your choice here will primarily govern your font styles and colors for line dividers and some other layout elements. Within a theme, you can adjust the accent color and make a few changes to the font style. This standard dark gray header is pretty plain and boring, so you can customize your header by clicking on it. Header type, adjust the size of the header, and change image allows you to upload or select an existing background.
So you can put your picture in there if you like, right?
I'll choose select to show you all of the choices in the gallery. If you don't like any of these, you can search copyright-free images right here.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
And if you
How did she get to my demo site? Is that something you have to create first?
No, that's what she titled her site.
Oh,
Yeah, so like mine's called Ms. Arevelo's Science Room or something. So that's just the title that she called the name of her site. That's what she
and
named it.
how did she get to that original slide that she's working with?
Let's go back. So she went to sites.google.com/new. And then at that point, hold on, because it asks you to, here, let me
to
just
access the new version of Google
let me go on
Sites,
ahead a bit.
any sites that you have already created will be displayed here,
Mhm.
and they are located in your Google Drive account also.
So once you click on that plus button,
Give your site a name so you can find it easily in your Drive by clicking where it says Untitled.
so right there.
Okay, so you go to the Google site and like I have a Google Drive. Will it just go into the Drive and I access it that way, or how is she creating it?
Well, as soon as you open up the site, I mean, it's part of the entire Google package.
Oh, so the little red plus sign, the little circle red with the plus sign, you can see that right away when you're opening the site.
Exactly. So
Okay,
as soon as you type in sites.google.com, you are in Google Sites.
thank you.
Sure. So I think we were about here. Maybe here,
An existing back.
or there. Okay.
Most websites are going to need more than just a home page. So let's create some more. To create additional pages, go to the Pages tab and then click the Add Page icon. Add as many pages as you want or need. And if you want something to be a subpage, just click on it and drag it onto the name of the parent page. Notice how Google adds a lovely navigation menu for you automatically. You may want different header images for your subpages, and the procedure to change any of these header images is the same as we covered earlier. Now that we have framed out the site, let's explore a couple of different ways to add content. Go back to the Insert tab to access your content creation tools. These are the most basic ways to add items, and of them, you will primarily use the text box and image tool.
So when we inserted our videos or images into our website, we did the embed. So as soon as we drop the videos into Google Drive, we just get the share link and then come back over to Sites, click embed URL, and then we enter the website and it will just automatically populate it.
Clicking on text box adds a text box to your page. This is handy, obviously, for adding text-based content. You can also use it to hyperlink to other pages. Just open the web page or item in another tab. Copy the address at the top of the page. If you're linking to something like a Google document, just make sure that document is shared so that anyone with the link can view it. After you've copied the link, go back to your site and highlight the text you want to become a hyperlink. Then use the chain link icon on the toolbar, and you have just made it so that when people click on this word, it will take them to the hyperlinked page.
Okay. Let me get out of here for a sec. All right. Do we have any question? I didn't want to show the rest of it because I know it's getting to be almost that time, but it says rooms will close in 2 minutes. Before we close out, do we have any other questions on websites or?
That was awesome. I'm such a slow learner on all this though. So I'll be able to view this again somehow, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because I might have to watch it a lot. Thank you though. Your presentation's excellent.
Well, thank you. I wanted to just share with you my own personal website. Now, please don't get overwhelmed because, you know, my kids are used to seeing this. And so this is the older version of the agenda. And again, I teach multiple grade levels. So I'm like, I think her name was Tracy, I apologize. So I have different grade levels. And as they click on it, they'll see the history of like what we've done. And if they're absent one day, and I do meet with them, but even if I can't meet with them or they can't attend class, they can just go through and see everything that we've done. So for me, this is a huge advantage. I use Google Classroom as well, of course, but Google Classroom doesn't necessarily like spell out what we did and in what order we did things. And so I like to use a combination of both. So that's just how I found, you know, works for my situation the best.
Akiko, some people were asking how to mount their cameras or their phone. Can you address that?
Oh, there was a hack. I have tripods, but that's not always necessary. So on my, let me share my screen. Thank you.